Hello everyone and welcome to JoBeth SEXTON'S Crafty Cauldron. I thought I would work on some junk journaling today. Specifically, I wanted to work on some journaling cards made from scratch and from things that I have around me on my desk. And since I'm going to be sitting here under where my camera can reach, I just thought I'd bring you along with me. So this one was partially done already, and I just cut out some more roses. I think I'm going to cut out a few more though. I found these really great curtains at Goodwill, but they have all kinds of floral roses on them, so I'll show you how I do this. It's probably the same way a lot of others of you do this. So we'll just bring out the glue and the paper and the fabric and do some stuff here. So this one looks pretty cool. It's got like the 3 stem. So I'm just going to kind of cut around it with these big scissors. These are my super sharps. And I wanted to say that I noticed a lot of you have problems with dirty scissors, getting sticky stuff on them and stuff like that. And I wanted to show you one of the things that I found. I found these. It's a Fisker's scissor sharpener for left or right-handed scissors. Found this at Walmart. And all you do is you put your scissors in there like this, and you just kind of cut. And that's how I've kept these Fisker's really sharp for, oh my God, I've had these for 15 years or so. And they are still just as good as the day I got them because of this little scissor sharpener thing. Now, if you're left-handed, you can pop this thing out and flip it over, and voila, you have a left-handed scissor sharpener. I am not left-handed, and I do not have left-handed scissors, as far as I know. Well, one pair, but I don't use them very often, only in desperation. But there you go. And I wrote on it up for right-handed, because they look identical, so I just thought that would be easier, and it is. So I got my little fussy cutting scissors. These are actually, let's see, not the best, but they work. They're pretty sharp, and I sharpen these the same way. These are gauze scissors from like medical gauze scissors, and they're super sharp. They've got the one blunt end and the one sharp end for cutting. If you're going to go under gauze, you can use the blunt end, but they get messy too, and I use the scissor sharpeners on them also, and it cleans them as well as sharpening them. So I just go ahead and do what I do with that, and it works really well. So I'm fussy cutting around these roses because I'm going to put them on this. I'm going to load this up with some more flowers, and I'm using Beacon 3-in-1 at the moment on these because I feel like it holds really well. I would use other things. I could use art glitter glue because that does work as well, but I like the Beacon because it's very, very sticky, and I feel like it's pretty reliable. Anyway, so I'm just going to go around like this, and I could also ink this if I wanted to, because the ink goes really well. The vintage photo or ground espresso or any color really, but those are the ones that I like. I like vintage photo a lot. And so I use that, and I've noticed that it really does work well on fabric, especially older fabric and mostly cotton fabric. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, so I'm just going to sharpen. You may hear some noises while I'm working. My husband he works from home. So he's here and he's working, but he often comes out, takes the dog out or whatever, and has a break, or, you know, same stuff you would do. Well, not taking the dog out, but mostly the same stuff that you would do if you were at work away from home. I like fussy cutting this fabric because you can kind of modify it as you go. Like I just cut the tip of a leaf off, but if you cut it the right way, like if you cut around it like this, you can't tell. So it's it's really a nice way to pretty up your journaling cards. So that is what I'm doing. And you can always cut pieces off and glue them. You know, you don't have to use the whole thing that you cut out all at once. You can say, this turns out to be too big for the spot I want to put it in. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be. It's probably just going to be like over here somewhere. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut this part off right here because it's covering up my big rose and I don't want to do that. So anyway, there's that. And then I can use this piece, like, I don't know, under this black tool down here and just kind of mix it up a little bit. There we go, see? And now it looks kind of like a bouquet down there. Another thing that I like to do is I like to cut out the negative space. So I'll just go in and make a snip so I can get in there. See, just make a little hole and then take the scissors and carefully fussy cut around the inside like this. And it doesn't have to be perfect, which is the great thing about making junk journals, because we all know no one can do everything perfect. So anyway, I think that looks kind of neat. There you go. Little roses. And the fabric is kind of, it's got a kink in it right there, but that doesn't matter because we can glue it down and it'll go away. Go away! Okay. So I think I'm just going to put this up here. And then I'm going to put this down here. And this little piece of ribbon is going to go kind of here. And then this guy, I think I'm going to cut this in half. But I'm going to wiggly cut. There we go. So this part is going to go like here, and this part is going to go somewhere over here. That looks kind of neat. And then I have a little piece of red for a pop of color, and then a real quartz crystal. I have a bunch of quartz crystals, little tiny quartz crystals that I use in much of my work. I haven't seen a whole lot of people do that, but it is possible, and you can find flat ones relatively easily. So I use them because I have them, and isn't that the name of the game? Now I have also noticed that people have trouble with their glue bubbling up, and mine is, I have a less than a half a bottle here. What I like to do is squeeze some of the air out and then turn it upside down and glue, because that will provide for when you turn it back over, it kind of sucks the glue back down inside. I'll show you. So my tip is full, but when I turn it over and let it go, it just sucks the glue right back down inside of there so it doesn't bubble over. So there's that. I kind of like to solve the problems there because I don't like to waste glue. It's expensive. So there you have it. I'm frugal and cheap, and that's why I do that. Not really. Anyway, so this is a little piece of decorative ribbon, and it's got a little lace on it in the front, sewed on the front, pink and burlap, kinda, and that's going to go down here, and then the black tool is going to go over the top. And then let's glue, oh, spider webs, glue webs. And let's glue this big baby on right here. So, and it might be kind of hard to hold on to it if the bottle is like this, but I would rather, you know, just get used to adjust to the holding part and save the glue, because I just feel like it's so wasteful if I don't. I don't know, maybe I'm just picky that way. So here we have it. And I'm going to start from another one from scratch while I'm with you here, because I wanted to show you how I do that and what I use and all. I know it's probably pretty boring because other people use this same darn stuff, but I'm working on these today, so I just figured I would do that. Oh, that's nice. That's good. Let's see. This goes over here. Let's put this little ribbon on kind of away from the side a little bit. So, it doesn't quite, yeah, that's good. That's good. So it's going to go, and I like to lay my piece beside what I'm working on, and then put the glue down here, because it's just easier for me if I can lay it down on the glue rather than glue the thing that I'm handling. It's just easier because it sticks to my fingers, and gosh, that's pretty frustrating when you can't you can't lay it down because it's stuck to your fingers. It's just really, really frustrating. So here we go, and that's pretty straight. Give it a little squish, and then let's put this one on. I like to go at an opposite angle because this stem is up this way, so I want to put this slightly down and hang it over the side just a teeny bit. And I think I'm going to put a button on there. Let's get my button container out. And I've been collecting buttons for a long time, as well as getting buttons from friends that don't want them anymore. There's a lot of vintage buttons in here too. So from a lady who had a storage space, actually she had 2 storage spaces, and she had a lot of sewing stuff. She gave me a whole bunch of fabric and buttons and, oh man, all kinds of stuff. And I was so grateful because I didn't have the money to go spend, and this was years ago. But I kept it because I'm a pack rat. Let's see, does that one look cool? Let's get something with a little bit of color in it. How about that? I don't want a pink one though. Now, there's a vintage button. I'm not even sure what you'd call that. I think it looks like it might be shell. But we'll just, that looks neat right there. It's a little thick though, I think. I think I'll go thinner. Try to keep all my tiny buttons. Oh, there's a good one. I think try to keep all my tiny buttons like in a special place so they don't get, you know, that one looks kind of like an eye. I like that. That's kind of neat. It's almost a mother of pearl button, but I do have mother of pearl buttons, real ones, in here, still on the vintage cards. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. There's no way in heck I would ever use them all in sewing, so this is wonderful. And I've only been making junk journals for, oh gosh, a few months. However, I did make leather-bound journals before that, just blank books, so I'm not unfamiliar. And then I used a kit to make a book, which came out really nice. So I was excited when I discovered junk journals. I was like, oh, really? People like that stuff? Awesome. So I started. And there I was, hooked. So, oh, see, now the glue is still in the tip because I didn't do it right. There we go. It's getting out of there. Spider webs. Okay, so that one should probably dry. And then the back is blank. And I'm going to ink that up when it's all dry. So I'm not going to play with it while it's wet. But I'm going to put these in different journals. I have these mini junk journals that I made. And I made a run of 7 of them, I think. But this is just one of them. And the cover is this really cool fabric. And the roses kind of match. So I thought they would be really neat. But I also thought I'd make some others. Now, I inherited, sort of, a bunch of paper from a guy whose uncle, from the uncle, who was getting rid of some paper that got ruined. Most of it got ruined, or he didn't need it, or whatever. He owned a print shop. So I have a whole bunch of this paper. Now, this paper isn't, like, flat. You can see that it's got lines on it. But it's really tough, heavy cardstock. See that? So it's really useful for this especially. So what I do, what I have is I have this. That's my base. And then I have this really old copy of Treasure Island that was literally falling apart. And so I just kind of opened it, and the pages, most of the pages fell out. It was actually my brother's when he was young, and he's, oh golly, I don't even know how old he is now. He's, ooh, 65 or something. Anyway, so it's really easy to tear with the ruler. You got to be careful though if you're doing it with a ruler, because this is brittle, fragile paper. I just do it with the ruler because it's quick. Also, I don't have to really pick it up very much, just that one little tear. So there's that. And I generally scan the page to make sure that there is nothing here that's, you know, unsavory, I guess. I think I still need that ruler, because I'm going to tear it down to the size of this card and then make the card. When I like to keep the text as much as I can, so I usually just tear it on the text, and then if I need to trim after that, I will trim after that. But you can see how old, see how it's breaking. Yeah, it's, I couldn't do much with this paper except for glue it onto a journal card or something else, glue it onto something else. Let's see, and we'll go here, carefully tear, there we are. And I generally like to save this, but I don't know how long it'll last because, again, the paper's really fragile. But there's that. So yeah, it was a hardback copy, but the binding was just gone. See, look at that. It fits so perfectly. Isn't that awesome? And then if any white is showing like here, because I've torn it slightly crooked, I'll just ink that. I'll just ink it. It's fine. But I did happen to get the whole page of text because the border, the margin is quite large. As many books from the 40s and 50s are, except for maybe medical books and stuff. See, look at that. Isn't that great? Okay, let's see. I'm going to use the 3-in-1 again because it is acid-free and waterproof, which makes it okay for this. And since it's something that is detachable, it doesn't need to be in the journal, it can be a little bulky as far as glue goes. So squeeze my air out, and then I'm just going to go, there we go. Just going to go real lightly. I should probably move over here a little. Real lightly around the edge. You want to get around the edge. And if I miss a spot around the edge, I just go in with some art glitter glue because it dries clear. I can put it around the edge and no one will be the wiser, but the edge will stick down, so that's good. And all you crafters already know all these little hacks, so pretty sure I'm preaching to the choir. So just a thin layer on my spider webs. Let the air suck all that glue back down inside of there. Okay, and then another thing that I like to do when I can is as I put it down, I kind of move it around a little so it squishes the glue. Squish the glue up a little. There we go. And on the fragile pages, I don't scrape around with my bone folder very much on the fragile page side. I generally go from the other side, and that way I avoid scarring up the page or tearing it or anything. So I'm going to put that cap back on. So we've got that. Nice little journaling card. Okay, now I have words, I have fabric. I think I'm going to do some more roses. Let's see. Maybe I'll just do smaller roses. Ooh, there's some right there. And leaves. Leaves look good. Doesn't that look good right there? That looks cool, nice and muted and ready to go. Let's put that over there so I don't accidentally cut it. Stash my ruler on its hook where it goes. I don't have a really big working space, so I tend to hang things a lot, which really works well for me. So let's see. Let's just cut around this. I think I'm going to make this into 2, and then I'll put a flower of some kind over it. Probably a rose, but who knows? We'll see what happens. So I'm gonna cut. I like to trim off as much as I can because it's easier to maneuver when you're fussy cutting if there's not a whole lot of, you guys probably already know that either. I mean, know that as well. So, let's see. And I can modify that. So let's just go around that. Oops. Come on, you. Here's that. And let's see if I can find a nice, pretty, oh. There we go. That's perfect right there. That part. And I don't care if the edge is frayed. Frayed edges are cool in my book. One of the reasons why I like junk journaling is because it allows you to be, you can be precise and cut off all of your frays. You can use fray block or fray check, or you can let the fraying begin and just help it along and make it look even more frayed, and everything goes. So we're going to fussy cut this. And then I think what I'm going to do is grab my ribbon. I have a bunch of ribbon that I got at the thrift store. Oh my god, I could not believe I found 2 huge bags and I spent $3. I love thrift stores. Thrift stores are the bomb. They are great for finding stuff that you can use for storage or for crafts or for craft storage. They are great for finding ideas because you can see what other people have created and decided to give to Goodwill or failed at, and then you can learn from that if you're taking the time to look at it. That is, if you have the time to look at it. But it's a great place. I mean, it's a great place to learn, even if you're just going over, you know, to get like, I don't know, whatever you can find, or you have something specific in mind. Take a little time and look at the stuff that's laying around. You might actually get some really neat ideas. So let's see. Yeah, that's pretty neat. That looks good. I'm gonna go around this guy just a little. Cut off all the green leaf part so it doesn't look unfinished, because you kind of need that finished look somewhat. I think it looks better that way. Rounded. That didn't take long. I thought it was going to take a really long time, but it didn't. Oops. I have a new pair of cutting scissors, fussy cutting scissors, on the way, because these don't have a spring in them, and my hands don't always want to work as well as they should. So let's see. We've got our card here. This would look neat that way, I think. Let's get that fraying part. Let's see, put the frayed part off to the side there. Let's pull out some of that. There we go. So this is going in the pile. Trash, actually. Then we'll do this. And hopefully it won't take too long, because do I know how to pause? No, I don't know how to pause. There's no option for pausing on this thing right now that I can see, which is kind of a bummer, because that would really help. But that's okay. I apologize, but this is not meant to be a short video. It was meant to be kind of a craft with me, which in my book is anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, and I can do that. I can totally do that. So this is almost done. And I'm going to modify this side because the leaf that I cut is hanging off the side and it's not a complete leaf. So I think what I'm just going to do is make it look like a leaf. So I'm going to cut a little V shape out. See that? How now it looks like right here. It looks kind of like the side of a leaf right there. That's, you can put teeth in it that way, or textures and stuff like that. It looks really cool. It doesn't take very long either. You just do a couple of snips and boop, you're done. You're done. Like a Christmas turkey. Thanksgiving turkey. I like turkey any time of the year. Trust me. Got one in the freezer right now and it's almost February. Okay. And around that and around that. Okay, so now we have some leaves. I think I'll put those leaves under this one. That looks neat. And I don't really think it needs much more than that. So let's see. Let's do it the other way. Let's go. Yeah, I think I like that way better because of the, no, I like the leaves better that way, but I want that fraying off the edge. So let's just go kind of like, I'm going to cover up my rosebud, but that's okay. That's okay. Or you can go over and above like this. That looks kind of neat. Let's do that. Okay, let's get rid of these little scraps. I have a little trash bag hanging off the back of my chair so I don't have to run around and get stuff. Let's see, do I have a crystal over here? I do, but it's not flat. So we're not going to be using that. I do, however, have a can full of snippets. I'm going to keep them in a coffee can like this with a little hole in the lid. That way I can just stuff them inside of there whenever I need to. And I have my teeny tiny snippets in a Ziploc bag. I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying Ziploc because it's a brand name, but whatever. So I think I'm going to use black, and I might just splurge and use some white. Let's see. Thread. Get that thread out of there. Oh, tea-dyed. Tea-dyed would look nice. Coffee-dyed. Well, some of it I coffee-dyed and tea-dyed. Well, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's get these extra little threads off of there. There's a light blue thread in there that just does not work for me. There we go. Yep, that'll work. And this is black. But I don't really like that design on there. Thought it would be okay, but once you stick it on there, sometimes, oh, there's something better. Sometimes you look at it and change your mind because of how it looks. You always have to look at it and figure it out. Little teeny tiny pieces here. Oh, that's kind of neat. Oh, this is a little piece of stretchy lace. How funny. That looks like an owl. Hey, that's neat. I like that. I think I'm gonna, that's all I'm gonna do as far as black. But, ooh, and I have this too. Coffee dyed lace. Cotton embroidery lace. I don't want it to cover that up, so I think I'm gonna go this side instead. Make a little neat little frame. And then I think I might just have to move this guy. And then let's see, is there a snippet of reddish something in here? I don't want it too red though. The last one was bright red and I don't want to do that over again. I like to do things different. So let's see. purple. Ooh, this one matches the, that looks really cool. So I'm going to use my pinking shears, and these are about 100 years old. Not really, but, oh, they're from the 60s, and they do need to be sharpened, but what the hell? I'll use them anyway, right? Oh, did I mention this is an adult channel? So we'll just trim that. And then I think I'm going to trim it really long, and then if I want it shorter, I'll just shorten it up a little bit. And go along that border. Looks kind of nice. And put my little snippet back in the can. Let me just get rid of this can real quick. Because if I use anything else, it's going to be... I'm cutting it off a bigger piece because I don't have a smaller piece of... Another smaller piece of coffee dyed lace. So... Okay. There we go. They're not too bad, I guess. It depends on what kind of fabric I'm cutting. And this paper that I'm working on, it's just packaging paper that I got in a package a while back. And it works really well. I think that's going to be too wide, but I do like it on that side. And I like it, let's see, it's almost, let's go here. There's another little snippet. I'll cut this down a little bit. And we can just use the other snippet for something else. The great thing about it, the great thing about junk journals, I can use that for a border. I can use that for, I could tie a bow with it. See, I could make a little bow and then just put, sew it shut. I can make an altered paper clip with it. I can do all kinds of stuff with it, even if it's that small. Okay, so let's do this. And I would sew around this maybe, but I don't want to get this sewing. And I have a really light sewing machine, but I just wanted to glue today, especially since this is my first craft with me video. And I thank you all, anyone who is watching, because truly, I am enjoying myself very much, and I hope that these videos that I'm going to be doing, the craft with me videos, they may come out, infrequently, but I'm going to be putting out more of these, and I hope that you guys enjoy them too, because I am. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it, right? Yes. Okay. So I think that's pretty cute, and I think I'll get a button and put that on there too. But first, let's just move this off of there. Boop. And then this is going to go on here. So I think what I'm going to have to do is kind of glue this all at once, which is a good thing. So flip it. Squeeze out my air. Kind of want to get it between there too, so it doesn't, so it glues to the other fabric. And I would be gluing the card, but this is a really abstract, random shape, so I'm just gonna glue it like this and hope for the best. And if it messes up, I'll just fix it. Lots of people say, you can cover up a lot. You can cover it up. You can modify it, tape it, and if it gets too awful, you can throw it away. Not that I want to, because I really, really like being able to use stuff that other people consider trash. And, kind of taking away that stuff from the landfill. And I feel like I'm keeping a little bit out of the landfills. So there we have that. That looks kind of neat. I like that it's hanging over the side on a couple places. That's neat. So now we have, let's just flip this over. Boop. And this goes all the way up the side, so I can go ahead and squeeze out my air. And just put like a thin layer up here because I don't want it to be super thick. But I want it to stick. Otherwise, why do it, right? So we've got this. And like I said, I'm going to go over the edge just a little with that pinking sheer edge because it looks kind of neat. Like that. And then let's put this stuff on. And this is, let's just put it beside so we know how far up to glue. So squeeze out the air. And there we go. Spider webs, glue webs. And this goes there. And I should move it up just a tad. There we go. That bright green looks kind of neat there. And then this guy's going to go here. Oh, I keep getting little bits of different colored fabric stuck in the lace, which is just how lace works. But let's do this. Ooh, you know what would look really cool? A butterfly. Butterfly would look really neat. And I don't mind getting glue all over myself. I mean, if I did, I wouldn't do this, but yeah, you know, it's just glue. It's not like it's permanent, and it's not going to hurt me too much. It dries my skin out, but hey. Right now, I live in Arizona. What doesn't dry my skin out? Just a tiny bit here. Just a teeny tiny bit, because I don't want it to squish out everywhere. So I'm kind of painting it on with the tip, just a little. There we go. Let's put that in a weird angle there. Kind of across the corner. Okay, now I do have some butterflies in a folder. And that's not it. I believe this is it. And for the life of me, I can't remember where I got these. They might be antique papery. Ooh, a pink one. And they're printed on parchment cardstock. Because I like parchment cardstock. It's durable. And it's pretty. And I'm not going to use these scissors for this. I'm going to use these scissors for this. And these are my old scissors. They're so old they have I bent the tip. I've had them for many years. Because I used to do this kind of thing, but I didn't put it in junk journals. I used to cut things out like this. I made boxes out of cigar boxes. I would make keepsake boxes. And I would end up cutting a lot of pictures out of a lot of different things, and sometimes I just needed you know, something to cut very small pictures out with small tolerances for the borders. And oh yeah, these were great. That was many years ago, before my hands started having a lot of trouble holding the scissors. And now, yeah, nice sharp pointy small scissors with a spring in them to help them reopen. Those are going to be nice someday. Let's go this way. As it is, I have about, I don't know, a dozen pairs of scissors right here. And I got a little caddy from the dollar store to put them in. And then I found out Walmart has the same caddies for like 3 cents cheaper, which is weird because, you know, a dollar store, you'd think, let's see, do we want you there? Do we want you here? Or do we want you? Ooh, that looks kind of neat. Flying down to the flower. Mm-hmm. I should get some butterfly buttons. That would be really neat. I think it makes a better contrast here because of the darker fabric. But it kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a lot. Maybe I should just put it right here on this darker fabric. I like that. That's gonna work right there. So we are going to do this with the 3-in-1 once again, very carefully. Don't want to put too much on, but I do want to get it covered. There we go. Okay. I think I'm going to take a little, fray this just a bit. Another great thing about this 3-in-1 is that when you use it to glue fabric, where it glues the fabric, it helps keep it from fraying a little bit. I've noticed it's kind of like fray block, but you're killing two birds with one stone. Sorry. Not that I kill birds, because I love birds. I feed them, and my front yard is kind of like a bird sanctuary. I'm always chasing cats out of there. Let's see. Maybe I should put like that. That looks kind of cool. Like a little. I like that. I'm gonna put that on there too. It's just laying here doing nothing. I might as well use it, right? Let's go. Come on, come out. No worries though. I have another bottle of glue on my shelf. So there we have it. Let's just put it at a little weird angle here. Kind of. That's neat. That'll work. And I'm going to leave these little strings hanging here. Like it's coming apart. Make it look like it's coming apart. I did that on purpose, really. So here's another journaling card. Kind of cute. I think I'll put a word on it too. Let's see. Let's see, what should we put? How about breathe? Breathe. Grateful. Think, consider. No, let's see. Oh, exquisite. And these are just word charts. I typed them out myself and used font off my computer. It's really easy to do, and it doesn't take too awfully long. It's just yeah, got some pictures from Mrs. Cog's Crafts on Etsy, by the way. Not that I'm using them here, because I'm not, but I thought I'd mention that. It's sticking out in the front there. So I think I'll put Joy down, and I'm gonna have to put some of these away because they are in my space. Okay, and these are my Fiskars. I wonder if I have another Joy that's not so close to the edge of the paper where I've cut. Let's see here. Oh, resplendent. I like that word. I think I'm going to use that one instead. Resplendent. I like it. Okay, so I'm going to just cut with a large border. Boop. Oh, yep, dropped it. That figures. One moment. Gotta stick my head under the table. There we go. Alrighty. Resplendent. Love that word. It just sounds so poetic and classy. Trim it down with these fancy scissors. And I'm going to use my Distress Ink Vintage Photo. Give it a kind of a aged look around the edges because that looks neat. That's what we do. We ink things because it looks cool. So that was easy and quick. Let's see, these guys are going this way, so I kind of want to do that this way, and that guy's going that way. Resplendent. I like it there. Let's see. No, too much at the bottom. No, too close to that side. That's probably it right there. So let's just put it right there. Squeeze my air out. And this, the base page does not really need to be aged because it is already aged. I mean, I didn't do anything to those. Those are that color because they they are old and probably not on really good paper because I think it was a kid's book. Well, a 1950s, 40s kids book, which is, you know, they had different ways of doing things back then. Let's see. It's this way. That's the way that I was going to do it, I think. Just hold it there for a second. Okay. Kind of neat. Journaling card. And since we have our inks sitting out here with us, I'm just going to go around the back of this and give it some color. Give it some age. Make it look like it came out of Grandma's attic, maybe. And voila, we have a journaling card. And it can go into a journal. And I have a little box of altered paper. Whoops. Oh, how'd that paper get in there? Imagine that. Okay. It's a pearl button with some ribbon attached to it. Let me see. And a coordinating color. I think the pearl is fake, but it doesn't matter because it still looks kind of cool. So we just attach that there, and then when we're ready, we can just stick that on a page, and there you have a nice little journaling card. And I did not use a kit. I didn't use anything from a kit except for the butterfly. And I believe the butterflies were from, oh golly, I think they were from, oh gosh, I can't remember. They might have been from Mrs. Coggs. They might have been from Antique Papery. I'm not sure. I'll try and find out and put it in the description of the video for you. But there you have it. It's really easy to do with stuff that you can find at the thrift store. Thrift store finds are one of the best things ever. A lot of the time, in America anyway, we have thrift stores that have like 50% days off and such as that. One day a week at Goodwill, there's a dollar day. It's $1 for a certain color of tag. And that is where I found, me and my husband Mark, we found some really great storage cabinets. And they're worth probably a couple $100. We got them for $1 each. $1 each. I was like fainting. Yes. My husband, he's like, goes up to the front, he goes, we found some stuff that we wanted. How much are they at this color tag? And they're like, oh, they're $1. They're $1. And he's like, no way, really? Even the furniture? And they're like, yeah, no problem. And he was just like, wow, because the find was just incredible. Anyway, so there you have a nice little journaling tag. And I have plans for other little crafty deals using dried flowers as soon as my flowers are dry, because I used up all of my old flowers. And I wanted to take you guys on a little trip to make a little, it's sort of like a journaling card, but it contains dried flowers. It uses dried flowers, so it's really neat. So there you are. And this is going to go inside this journal somewhere. This little mini journal, which is really, I made this, a lot of this stuff in here there's very little from kits. A lot from old books and my own stash and things that I've learned. But see, look at that. Look, you just put it in there, and then when you close the journal, you've got that cute little button and stuff hanging from the top there. See that? The other tail is buried, but you get the idea, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I think it looks nice. Okay, well, that's all I have for you today. So thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Peace, love, and remember, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Make it a really happy, crafty one. Bye-bye, guys. See you in the next video.